What is happening? I did not want to do that. I didn't even know that you could use that on here. Okay, we'll just use this one. Um, so hi, this is the third time I'm starting this live again because I think the problem that I've been having, hi Debbie, I think the problem that I've been having with these live videos when I go to save them is I don't have enough storage on my phone. So I had to go in and offload a bunch of my apps just so that I could save this because last night I did a live video about all kinds of random things and I went to save it and it didn't save. So that keeps happening to me, so I paused this twice, two other times, and just restarted this again. So yeah, last night when I went live, I talked about several things relating to blogging, owning your own business, and just some other like general lifestyle topics. And it was really funny because while I was doing that, it was I just got the shower, that's why I'm brushing my hair, multitasking. Um, while I was doing that live video, it was storming out, and I always keep my window open this time of year. I kid you not, the loudest crack of thunder I've ever heard in my entire life happened while I was doing the live video, and anyone who was watching it saw like my real authentic reaction to that thunder. I jumped so high and I was cracking up because that reaction was on camera. Um, and it scared the shit out of me. So it was pretty entertaining. But while I wait for some more people to hop on here, um, I did want to say first that there is a new blog post up. So today I added a post about personal development, and I'll give you kind of like the general overview of that post pretty quickly. But to get the full post, obviously go check it out. I have a new link in my bio now that I made with Linktree so that you can see a bunch of different posts and links that I have on there. So if you click on that link in my bio and you click on, I think it's the first button that says how to up your personal development game, that's the newest post. The newest post will always be at the very top um, when you click on that link. So that's there. That went up earlier this afternoon. Um, so I wanted to talk about personal development because this summer and earlier in the year and last year, I started ordering all of these personal development books. And I learned about personal development when I was a Beachbody coach. I'm not a Beachbody coach anymore. It wasn't for me. Um, I can talk about that another time in a live video, a YouTube, or on my blog. But so I did that, and um, like I said, just wasn't for me. But regardless, I feel like no matter what it is in your life, you always learn something from that experience. And so I learned a lot of things from my experience as a coach, but I think one of my most like cherished things that I learned through that experience was how important personal development is. Whether you're a business owner, whether you're a blogger, or whether you're neither of those things, you need to have that personal development. So personal development can come in so many different forms. It can come through reading, which is what I focused on. Hey, which is what I focused on in my blog post. I talked about, I want to say there were 9 books, 8 books, 10 books, something like that in that blog post that I recommended, that I personally have, and have, if I haven't finished those books, I've at least read a little bit from all of them because I tend to like read a book, or I'll read like a book cover to cover, and then I'll start another one, and then I'll start another one, and so I kind of like, I don't know, I kind of move around from book to book. I don't know, I've always done that, but all of the books in that blog post I have at least read a few chapters of, if not completely finished. So back to what I was saying, personal development comes in so many different forms. So through reading, whether you get a book that I recommended from my blog post, whether you have books at home that you enjoy reading that fall under that category. Personal development, I feel like, is just a different term for self-help, and I like that. I like that term a lot better than self-help, actually. So I'm just gonna be brushing my hair throughout this video. Don't mind that. So that's all it is. It's working on you, and it doesn't have to be working on you only if you have a blog or a business. It's working on you as a person. So I love it so much. And the other material that you can consume and apply is through podcasts or motivational YouTube videos, TED Talks. Jay Shetty is one of my absolute favorite inspirational speakers, and I see his videos on YouTube all the time. I watch them there. Sometimes they'll pop up on Facebook. I always watch those. So he is one of my go-tos. Les Brown is another one that I really enjoy. And there were so many others. I think there's a YouTube channel that I subscribe to called Goalcast, I think it is. I actually think I have it right here. But so then there are specific YouTube channels that you can subscribe to that have some inspiring people that they interview. So actually this channel, I've just pulled it up here on my computer. It's actually called Be Inspired. So if you're watching this and you're looking for personal development, or if you've never done personal development and you're looking for an easy place to start, write this down, go to YouTube and type in Be Inspired and subscribe to their channel, because there is something for everyone. The video clips are usually pretty short. It looks like really anywhere from like 5 to 20 minutes. And then what's really great, maybe I don't know if I want to show you real quick because all this back here is like a hot mess. But I'm looking at the monitor up here, and so just by clicking on Be Inspired, all these other channels have popped up. So there's Inspired Discipline, Mind Valley. I think those actually might be the only ones related to that. Motivation Madness, that's another good one. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. Tom Bilyeu? But so there are so many great options. You could even just go to YouTube and type in like personal development or motivational videos, inspirational videos, or things like that, inspirational speakers, and find something really quickly on YouTube if you're not ready to commit to getting a specific book, or you don't really know where to start with a book. But that's where that blog post that I put up today would be really helpful if you're not sure where to start, or if you're looking for a new book to read. That's also a great place to start. So that's what I talked about in that post. I really feel like there are so many valuable lessons to be learned through reading personal development books. But I think the important thing to remember is you can't just read the book and expect things to be different after you read that. You actually have to read the book and then, take what the author is saying and then apply that in your life. So things aren't just going to miraculously happen because you read a book. And you actually have to take action after reading it. So it takes so much effort, and it's such hard work to change our thinking, because when you are so used to thinking in a certain mindset or a certain way for however long, for years upon years upon years, that just becomes habitual, and it becomes something that we're so used to. So it's essentially a habit that we're trying to break out of by trying to shift our mindset and shift our way of thinking. But that's where these books come in, because those are tools that are already outlined there for you. You just have to put in the extra effort to actually make that change. And that's really the hardest part. And it takes a lot of work, but in anything, if you want to see a certain result, you're gonna have to work at it. So I just wanted to kind of expand upon that just a little bit. Probably in the next couple of weeks, I'm going to do additional posts on personal development. One will be focusing specifically, I'm like getting really thirsty. One will be focusing specifically on podcasts that I listen to for personal development. And another one will be focusing on YouTube videos for personal development. I am constantly looking for new YouTube videos, new podcasts, new books to add to sort of like my personal development arsenal, if you will. So if you have any recommendations, send them my way. I'll check them out, and you might just see them in one of the upcoming posts. So a couple things that are happening this week. Tomorrow's my birthday, so I don't know that I'll be doing a whole lot on my blog tomorrow, just because I do have one thing that hi Wendy, I do have one thing that I have to do tomorrow, and then I don't really have plans for my birthday tomorrow. Friday, my best friend is taking me to dinner, which I'm super excited about. We might go out after, but tomorrow it's just gonna be, I feel like, a pretty relaxing day. So I might get on the blog, I might get on here, I might not, I don't know. But I will try to get a post scheduled up so that on Friday there is a post for you guys. And I do have one started. What I do when I blog, and this can kind of be like a little random tip for bloggers, what I do when I blog is, thank you. What I do when I blog is I sit down, and if I have any sort of idea, I just open a new draft and I start typing. And then oftentimes I'll just type long enough to get those ideas down, and then I'll walk away from it, and I might come back to it later in the day and see if I feel inspired to add to it. So I literally have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 6 drafts right now. So I just need to pick which we use for Friday. So there will be a new post up Friday. The one that I started last night was kind of about what to expect when you are starting your own business, because I feel like a lot of people think, oh my gosh, this is going to be great, I'm going to be my own boss, I'm going to be able to work from home all the time, and there's, I feel like there are plenty of people who are looking at it through, what's the saying, like rose-colored glasses, rose-colored lenses. I always mess that saying up, but I feel like, it's this kind of fantasy for a lot of people, and while obviously it was a dream of mine once I started, what became my business, but it's hard. It's not easy, and even though I'm doing it full-time now, there are constantly things that I'm having to learn and challenges that I'm having to tackle, and just so many things that you have to take in consideration when you're running a business. And I feel like the same goes for if you're blogging full-time. So I'm running my business full-time, and I revamped my blog in hopes of bringing that to a point that I can also be doing that very consistently as well. So it's hard. It's exciting. It's rewarding, but it's hard. And of course, nothing worth having is going to come easy. So, so I think that might be the direction that I go in for Friday. Another idea that I had was a little bit about what I touched on in my earlier post in this hashtag that's been floating around called Last 90 Days. And I know I believe where it originated from was an author, and I understand what it's all about. I really do. I know it's, like a good thing, and setting your intentions for the rest of this year and setting your goals for the rest of this year, but I just feel like that hashtag, and please don't take this personally if you use that hashtag, it's just my view. I feel like saying the last 90 days, that puts like such a hard endpoint where I feel like, yes, of course 2018 is coming to an end, but I also feel like this, it's a continuum. And I just feel like when you put like an end to that, for me as someone who has dealt with anxiety for, I've known that it's been labeled as anxiety for probably about 10 years now, maybe a little bit less. But as someone who deals with anxiety, that immediately puts anxious thoughts in my mind hearing last 90 days. Because for me, with my birthday being tomorrow, I'm starting 29. I'm starting my 29th year. So I see, at this point in the year, in October, I see that as another beginning, a beginning of something else, not an end. I'm not 28 anymore, and it's the end of my 28th year, but I'm just continuing from there. It's a new age. It's going to be a new year, but that doesn't mean things have to end. And I just feel like when you're saying it's the last 90 days, then it kind of has the same effect as like the New Year's resolution kind of thing, where everyone sets these intentions and sets these goals, but then like on January 5th, they're all gone. You know what I mean? So that's my personal take on it. I just feel like I'm seeing so many people feeling like they need to rush to get all of these things in before the end of 2018. And like, why do you feel the need to scramble? If you want to set intentions and set goals, set them every day, or set them every week, or set them every month. Like, do that. Don't just do it because it's the last 90 days of the year. That's just my take on it. Maybe I'm looking at it the wrong way, and maybe I'm sure it's beneficial for many people, but for me, it makes me a little bit anxious, and I just feel like, why? Just why? It's going to be the end of 2018, but things keep going. You can always set intentions. You can always set goals. So instead of only doing it for the last 90 days, do it for tomorrow, and the day after that, and the day after that, or do it, like I said, every week, and make it a routine. Don't just make it something that you're doing because you feel in 2018, because you're not running out of time. You're not running out of time at all. So that's all I'm going to say because my battery is dying. I did clear some room on my phone, so I'm going to try and save this and make sure it stays up for 24 hours. So anyone who wasn't able to jump on can see this. I'm going to go and work on a blog post that I will have up on Friday, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.